I'm Dr. Christina Stitcher, and I'm excited to start this series with you. Each month, we are going to bring videos and lessons and really ways to empower you and your family to have the healthiest life possible. So I'm the clinic director for Family First Chiropractic in Murray, Utah, and we really wanted to focus at the beginning of the year, the focus inward. How can we help ourselves really say what else can we do as we're getting adjusted, as we're clearing out the nervous system, as we're really helping our body function at its very best, but what additional tools, what additional things are we dealing with in life that we can really help optimize our health? So I wanted to start out with gratitude. Now, when we talk about gratitude, I'm going to flip the switch about really how we think. It used to be that people thought when we were born, our brain was developed and it was solid and things couldn't change. Well, we know the exact opposite is what the case is now. Think of your brain very much like a Play-Doh. It is malleable, so what you use, you empower. What you don't use is what you lose. And so when we look at this, we talk about the fact that you can train your brain for whatever you want it to be. And I'm going to use a lot of quotes because I firmly believe that as we look at other people and how they have really magnified their life and have been examples to us, that we can learn from that. And so the first thing I actually want to talk about is the fact that our brain is malleable, but the effects of negative thinking. So let me share some research with you. There was research that was done that they polled a whole bunch of people and they had them go into a room and point out 3 things about the room. What they saw were that a lot of people pointed out 3 negative things about the room, 3 things they didn't like about the room, 3 things that didn't just resonate with them. There were people who went in and pointed out 3 very what we call neutral things about the room, neither positive nor negative. And then there were also people who pointed out 3 positive things about the room. Now, what this research taught us was a couple things. First of all, it taught us that a lot of people are negative thinkers, which is what we kind of had a feeling was going on. But here's the most important part about this research, is it was the same exact room. The perspective is different based on the person who went into the room. What they focused on changed everything about that. What we know is between 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts go through our head every single day. We also know that 95% of those thoughts are the same thoughts you had yesterday. So we're really repetitive in nature. And when I talk about the nerves that fire together or what wire together, so that's what creates habit and create that molding of our brain. If you're thinking the exact same thoughts every single day, then you're going to train your brain to think one way. And here's why this matters, is what we know is that 80% of the thoughts that people think are actually negative. And so if 80% of your 60,000 thoughts that go through your brain every single day are negative, then what it does is it starts creating the situation where you view the world as more harsh. You view the world as full of obstacles rather than solutions. You view relationships in a more harsh light, and you're more critical. You see the problems in every situation. Now, I say that as an extreme measure, but it actually is true because we know that people who are considered more negative thinkers, that's what they look for, the problems. Now, along with this one, what we got to realize is that things can change. And so here's my first quote. This is from Gandhi. "A man is but the product of his thoughts. What he thinks, he becomes." We know that every action is preceded by a thought. I want you to sit where you are just for a moment and realize that wherever you are, it was thought about before it was created. What you're sitting on was a thought before it was an actual object. Every action is preceded by a thought, and that is so powerful to realize that as our thoughts really become our lives, we want to be very mindful of those thoughts. Now, why this matters is because we know that we're gonna flip it today. We're not gonna talk about negative as much anymore, and I'm not negating negative. Please understand that. We will have, there's place for that, there's appreciation, there's honoring and space for that. But for right now, I want to talk about the positive benefits of in a gratitude mindset or having a gratitude mindset. And I'm going to help you have strategies to implement this, not negating if you're going through a really hard time in life, but actually to give you tools and resources if you are going through a really tough time in life and if you're not. because it's really one of going, this doesn't have to be the right time to implement, but you got to first understand the why, because the why matters more than anything else. And if you understand the why, the how and the what come a lot easier. So within the why, we know that gratitude releases toxic emotions. We find that, and they did research where they had people write out about their pain and what they're going through. And then the other group wrote, instead of writing about their pain, they just wrote a letter of gratitude. And what we found was that the people who wrote out the letter of gratitude were actually able to process their emotions and release those negative emotions and those negative toxins a lot quicker and more fully than people who just stayed in the negative. And so that when you have a situation, when you have something that's going on, within that one is going, well, what's maybe the one thing that's good that's happening in that situation, or the one thing that is uplifting about it? Now, the next thing we know is that gratitude reduces pain. Another research study was done with this one where they had people list out things they were grateful for, and they were measuring pain levels. And again, what they found is that people who were making the list of things they were grateful for, things that were going well in their life, their pain levels significantly decreased compared to the control group. So even something as hard to control as pain, something that we feel we have no control over, and often can lead to, especially right now in the opioid epidemic, is that we have no other option other than medication. You absolutely have now a resource, an opportunity, something you can utilize that has been shown in the research to reduce pain. And that's simply expressing gratitude, because it changes our physiology. And I'll talk about that just in a second. We also know that gratitude increases our quality of sleep. What a fascinating thing to realize is that the actual quality of sleep, which will give us that how awake we are the next morning, how rested we are, but repair happens when we're sleeping. So if your quality of sleep improves, even if the time of sleep doesn't improve, then we know that those people are healthier because it allows their body to go into rest, digest, healing, and repair mode at nighttime. It allows their immune system to reset. It allows their nervous system to function like it should. But that sleep recycles the body into an appropriate wake-sleep cycle, which helps regulate hormones, regulate digestion, regulate stress, regulate all the balance within the body, simply by expressing gratitude throughout the day and especially before you go to bed. And then another one is that gratitude aids in stress regulation. We know that stress creates a cortisol reaction. Let me explain that a little bit differently. So cortisol is your stress hormone. So the best example I like to give is a bear comes into the room and all of a sudden you're in fight or flight, which is appropriate. That's an appropriate level of stress, and the response is what you want, which means eyes dilate so you can see better. Your blood is going to shunt from your digestive organs and from your central organs to your arms and to your legs so that you can run. Your heart rate is going to go up. Your breathing is going to increase. You are in total survival mode, fight or flight. If you're not going to fight the bear, you're going to run from the bear. The thing to understand about this is that stress long-term is what's detrimental. We actually know that short-term stress is good for our bodies because it allows our body to respond, react, and then come back down. But long-term stress keeps us in that fight or flight, which diminishes the effects of the nervous system, diminishes the benefit of the immune system because it's not allowed to work like it's supposed to. And what we know is that by exercising gratitude, it brings us out of that fight or flight mode. It actually helps our body regulate stress more internally. Physiology changes when we're expressing gratitude. And so you come out of fight or flight and your body starts going into heal, repair, and growth. That way you're not going to get sick as often. You're not going to burn out as easily. You're going to get the better sleep. You're going to have the better digestion because now you have blood flow to your digestive system. Do you see how this all comes together for your health, for your benefit? And then another one is that we know through the research is that exercising gratitude or having gratitude in your life on a regular basis actually reduces anxiety and depression. It helps people be more empathetic, more positive minded. But in this day and age where we have so much depression and so much anxiety, and I have to point out the irony of this because we're releasing this on Facebook. We're releasing this on social media. We're releasing this so that this is now in the comfort of your hands in your own home. We actually know that with social media, stress has gone up. We know that being so connected to the world has actually increased disconnection or caused disconnection because we're wired into one part of our life, but losing the connection with the people simply around us. So I can point this out because we know that depression and anxiety have actually increased as we have more access to the internet, to social media, to other people. But we can use this for good because that's what I think that matters is when we use social media like Facebook and Instagram. Choose your friends, choose who you follow and choose them wisely. Choose businesses and people who uplift you, who help point out what's going well. Let's be honest, we can focus on all the negative because there's lots of things to be negative about if that's what you want to focus on. It's like the whole expression, misery loves company. Well, I firmly believe that gratitude loves company. Who would you like to be around? When you leave someone's company, do you feel better? Do you feel a little bit lighter, a little bit more uplifted? Or do you feel more weighted down? Because that helps you to determine who you want to spend your time with. So I love this quote, if you correct your mind, the rest of your life will fall into place. So I share with you the benefits of gratitude. I share with you why it matters. I share with you the purpose. And this is where we look at the research. And I shared this in the intro video, but let me hit it again. People who are positive thinkers live longer. Truly, they add years to their life. And I'll tell you, they're adding life to their years as well because they're enjoying their life more. We know that people who are positive thinkers, they're happier in their marriages. They stay in more committed relationships. People who are positive thinkers have better jobs. They're more satisfied in their jobs. They make more money at their jobs. And overall satisfaction in life, they look at life as a series of opportunities and challenges to be overcome. If these aren't some good reasons to really correct your mind so you can take control of your life, I don't know what else is. And if you truly want to change your life, you must first be willing to change your mind. So I share with you all the purposes of what we know from the research. And now what I want to do is lead into how can we make some changes? What are some things that you can implement today, tonight, in this moment to help you start changing your mind so you can truly change your life? And so from here, let's talk about where to start. And the first thing I like to say to start with recognizing the good. Even in moments of crisis, even in times that are really tough, even in the bad. I want to be very careful, and I had a really hard time just giving the title to this talk of gratitude because I don't want to be one who says, just choose joy. That fixes everything in your life. Well, I'll be totally fair and honest with you. I've had my share of really tough times. And if you choose joy and you not even choose joy, if you recognize the joy in the moment, even if it's just a fleeting moment, it helps gain perspective. It brings back common humanity, which means you're not alone. Other people have been through this, like you are going through this. You can make it through this, just like other people have made it through this. You are strong, you are powerful, you are amazing, and you can handle these things. And you can cry, and you can express grief, and you can still find the joy in that moment. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say this fixes everything and it doesn't have a place for grief or for pain or for loss, because that would be inappropriate and I think it'd be irresponsible of me. Instead, what I'm saying is, and why I'm being so careful with this, is to help you understand that you're not alone, that there are solutions, there are things that can help you through times of crisis, and we want to help you get there to have your best life possible, but I don't want you to feel that you're left in your moments of pain. So the first step I say is to recognize the good even in the pain. Recognize the good in a normal, ordinary day, because what happens is if you have an ordinary day that you start recognizing the good, it becomes extraordinary. And so we start looking for what's going right. Now, when I say that, what's so important and what we know from the research is that people who write down gratitude, things that went well that day, is how it literally changes the brain the fastest. We know it takes 21 days to make a habit. That's minimum. There's a lot of research that's coming out saying it actually takes a little bit longer than that. I think sometimes that can get a little stressful to hear that. What I'm telling you is that your whole body, your brain, everything can change. And it can change with consistency and with repetition. But you got to be consistent and you got to have repetition behind it. So here's my challenge for you. Is today, tonight, before you go to bed, you pull out a piece of paper and with pencil or pen, you write down. This is so much better if you write it down than if you type it in or you use your phone and type it in that way. I'm telling you, there's massive research that talks about writing, drawing is so important for our brain. It's how we process emotions. It's how we work through things, is to actually write it or draw things down. So I challenge you to write down 3 things that went well today before you go to bed. Write them down because it makes it more real than just thinking about them. And then tomorrow do the same thing. And continue this challenge for a minimum 21 days. And if you miss a day, you continue on. 21 days in a row is what I'm trying to say, is that you just keep on doing it. And what we know is that it helps train your brain. Literally, it will rewire your brain to look for the good. It will train your brain to look for the opportunity rather than the obstacle. It'll train your brain to look for the one flower amongst the field of weeds, and to appreciate a sunrise or a sunset, even in the midst of problems. It rewires us to look for what's going right, rather than only seeing what's going wrong. Another thing is, if we know we have up to 60,000 thoughts a day that are going through our brain, then become cognizant of your thoughts. Start listening to your thoughts. Because when a negative thought comes in, what you immediately need to do is hear it and say, hold on, is that true? Put it through a filter. Is that true? And if the answer is that's not true, then you immediately need to rebuttal it with an opposing view. Here's what's so cool that we know is your brain cannot handle 2 opposing thoughts at once. So it has to kick one out. So if you have a negative thought come in, and if you immediately recognize a negative thought, let's say I'm not good enough, which is a massively negative thought, you say that's not true. I am powerful and capable and I bring value. I take care of my family. I take care of my loved ones. I take care of my friends. I take care of me. Of course I'm good enough just the way I am. You take that time to rebuttal that statement, what it does is it has your brain will latch onto that because you spent as much time, and to be honest, you spent more time on the rebuttal, and your brain cannot handle what the first thought was anymore. It changes everything. Because along with that one, I love this statement, to fall in love with yourself is the first secret of happiness. So your next challenge is to go and look in the mirror and really connect with yourself and go, like, I love you and I take care of you, because you got to take care of you. You're responsible for your life. No one else is responsible for your life, and no one else is responsible for your happiness. If you're not taking care of you, then you're in a place of lack or a lack mentality, which now draws from other people, pulls from other people rather than gives to other people. So you gotta love you. Let me read that quote one more time. To fall in love with yourself is the first secret of happiness. That's said by Robert Morley. And I look at this of saying what power you have in your life. Carol Burnett said, only I can change my life. No one can do it for me. I really look at this opportunity for me to prepare this for you. And what we can all do is to say, it's all about your life. This is your life. Take charge of your life. Wake up every day being excited about your life, and take action so that you wake up every day to be excited about your life. Here's another one that I love, this quote. I never lose. Either I win or I learn. I love the mindset of fail forward. To me, true failure is that you stop. You quit, you don't go move on, which means you didn't learn. I love what I heard early on, especially in business, which was fail early, fail often, fail forward, which means you are going to screw up. But do it, acknowledge it, be okay with it. Fail safe is another one I heard. Fail on little things so that you feel comfortable trying things and know that actually failing doesn't hurt as much, because I never lose. Either I win or I learn. And when you learn, that's never a fail because you didn't stay where you were. You're now at a new place. You failed forward. You moved forward in your life and in your mentality, in your relationships, in your business, in who you are. You took it further. You took you further. And that is something that always has to be celebrated and appreciated. And so I look at this as just a few more take-home guidelines that I want to share with you. The first one is a hard one, I will say, but actually let me not even say that, because it's totally easy, because things are only hard if we say it's going to be hard. So this one's totally easy. I want you to stop worrying. When you worry, you're stuck in the future, and you have no control over the future. You have control over now. You have no control over the past, because the past is the past. And I love the quote, your best teacher is your last mistake. Again, fail forward. When you're worrying, you're not present. So stop it. You have no control over it. So be here, be now, be where you will need and want to be. The next one is, this is your action step. Stop worrying. And then your attitude of gratitude. This is a daily attitude of gratitude. Yes, right now it may be one time a day at the end of the day that you look back and go, what went well today? But what's going to happen is throughout the day, you're going to start noticing, oh my goodness, that is awesome. That went so well. That is so neat. I love this person. I love this connection. And you'll start recognizing those moments of joy, those moments of connection, because isn't really that's why we're here, is for connection, for that purpose. Another one is health is your wealth. So take care of it. Obviously, we are chiropractors for a reason. We know that your body is powerful and capable of healing and repair, and it will work at its very best as long as there's no interference. We know that your health is your greatest asset. You got to take care of it. Nothing will replace poor health. So if you are not taking care of your health at the best level already, or at the highest level you can, then enlist the help of a family wellness chiropractor. Call our office if you're not in our area. We will help find someone for you, because our mission is to help as many people as possible, especially kids, because we know kids are our future generation. And we know that it is much better and easier to raise healthy kids than it is to repair damaged adults. We want our communities to be healthier, more connected, more vibrant, more purposefully engaged. That's why we're doing this. So know that we're here as an asset for you, to help you be your very best. I'm going to challenge you to start laughing. There was something I'd read, and I don't know the numbers on this one, is that kids, I want to say on average, it was like 100 times a day that kids laugh, and an adult laughs an average like 4 times a day was all. It was a hugely different number. And you go, oh, that's concerning, because here's what we know, is a belly laugh will decrease stress hormone. It will increase immune system function. Isn't that so cool? Not only does it decrease stress, but it actually increases our immune system. Your immune system works better when you laugh deeply. It releases endorphins, which are your feel-good hormones. And so really you look at laughter as, like we talk about laughter is the best medicine. Well, it's totally there. So I'll tell you, there's a lot of ways to get laughter into your life. Be around kids. That's a great way to do it. Start listening to comedy, start watching some comedy in movies, start really just bringing laughter into your life so that you can have more fun, because isn't that the purpose of life, is to have fun and realize the benefit behind it. I love this one. Learn to say no. I love the statement, no is a complete sentence. If someone asks you to do something you're not comfortable with it, say no. And that's all you need to say. If someone's pushing you or asking you to do something that you don't have the time for, understand you are in control of your schedule. You are in control of your time and of your life. No one else is in control of your life like you are. So if it's something that you can't do, say that. It's okay. Own your time, own your influence, take responsibility of your life, and it will make a massive difference in how you view and your outcomes in life. So learn, practice saying no. And then the last thing I want to finish with is appreciate the little things. That's what this whole thing is about, is appreciate the little things in life, because it's all about helping our lives become extraordinary by acknowledging the beauty that's in the moment, the beauty that's in the connection that's in the moment. I look at the time I've had over this last couple years with my kids, and as they're getting older, and I can see the time is fleeting because it's scaring me, and I realize the expression, the days are long and the years are short. I'm feeling that right now with my kids as teenagers and getting into teenage years. And I'll tell you that some of my best moments with them right now are the quieter moments where we're just together. When we find the joy in the ordinary, we make our lives extraordinary. That's why we want to help you. That's why we're doing this. That's why we want to improve your life and your health and be here as one of your health and wellness experts, because we stand for life. We stand for health, and we stand for your families being the very best that they can. Know that if you have questions, want to take this further, talk with us, reach out. We're here for you. Obviously, you can see us on Facebook. You can reach out to the practice as well. In any way, know that we're here to help you out and make your life extraordinary by choice, by design, on purpose. Make it passionate, make it amazing, make it inspiring for you first and foremost. Have a wonderful day.